welcome back to Wendy's Colouring, and today, finally, is my November finished colouring video. Yeah, November has not gone to plan this month. It's basically been my month of illness. Yeah, I've had COVID, and now, as you might be able to tell, now I've got a cold to follow it up with. I'm guessing because my immunity is low, I've just been like, a target for all germs. All germs come to Wendy and infect her. So, yeah, it has had effects on my colouring this month. This is my worst month of colouring ever, I think. Honestly, ever. Just, yeah, couldn't, pretty much couldn't be any worse. I've done some for a while. I was like, am I making this video? I don't even know if I am. Yeah, I'll just get through it. Yeah, I might have to stop every so often because, yeah, coughing, sneezing, trying to breathe, you know the issues. Anyway, I've done a few bits. It's been hard to do a few bits this month, and yeah, I did about 3 weeks practically where I did absolutely nothing. So it's kind of what I fitted in between there. Thankfully, November is at least a little bit of a longer month, isn't it? So I did get a little bit done. Okay, so this is pretty much where I started off after being ill, really. So I think this is one of my Temu little purchases from my Temu haul way back. My first colouring haul with Temu. I think I've only done one. Don't know what I'm saying first. But yeah, this is watercolour painting, and it's World Adventure. And I really like this little daft little watercolour book. It's super cheap watercolour paper, and the pages are... well, they're basically like this. So you get a kind of a bookmark sized page, and you get these little watercolour swatches that you can use on the side. I didn't use them. I have used, I don't know, I've stuck it on because I know what I've used. My colouring in the little characters is my Posca pencils. So I have that 36 set that you can get of little Posca pencils. I never use them normally. But yeah, I think because I was just not well, I just thought, I don't want any big sets out, I'll just use those. And yeah, they were alright on this little, like I say, it's horribly cheap watercolour card type stuff. And then I've just used, in the background, as you can pretty much see, some of my own watercolour paints that I've made myself. Video for it is way back in the history. It's probably terrible because it was one of my earlier videos. Well, let's be honest, I did not know what I was doing in terms of filming and sound and lighting and all that. But you'll probably get the gist still, and it does link my supplies that I've used, and it'll show you the things I've used as well if you're interested. And I think I did use a Signo sparkling, the gold one, just in a couple of the stars, not all of them. It's not filming very well today because I've got a lot of lights on because it's dark and miserable when I'm filming. So I did this one, and I quite enjoyed it because I do like these silly little characters. So then I also did this one, which again, same list of materials. All the coloured work is in my Posca pencils, and then again it's just one of my watercolours. Oh yeah, and I used another one on the edge of the door there that's like a coppery gold colour, and this is kind of a silvery blue that I've used in the sky and in the thing. But if I can stop background reflecting, you can see the characters. But yeah, I just love this little sulky pig. I know it's daft. This is such a silly little pack of things. Just every page makes me laugh. Just the drawings are just completely and utterly silly. Like, I think I might try and do this one with him sticking his tongue out for the snowflakes. What is this? With like, I don't know, jelly head? No clue. Quite like these. Insight into some buildings. Obviously that's the one I've just done. Then I've got Weird Spacemen. I'll put it down because that would be easier than trying to hold it. Weird Spacemen. Bizarre travelling arrangements. Car with a face. Helicopter with a face and a big nose. And a bizarre cat. And I don't know what that is. A boat with... that looks like it's sucking up all of the sea. There's my pig again. Don't know why I'm showing you this, just because I find this book amusing. And then it has this bizarrely quite serious page in that looks like somebody else drew it. Then we're back to my favourite characters. And then I think the last one is just, again, I think it's the same. It kind of looks like it's two different people have drawn different bits of it. Who knows? It's Timu. What more could you say? But I do quite like this one, which is World Adventure. So I quite enjoyed working in that. And then was still feeling lousy, so I did pick up this one. I love cute colouring. I did get mine from Amazon not too long ago. It's been sitting on my shelf uncolored for a while. But again, I just wanted a bit of a fun page, just to do something simple. It's no great shakes, but yeah, I did enjoy work. Do you know what? Why don't I zoom in instead of keep having to do that? Just make my life difficult. Again, just Posca pencils, and then I did use some of my acrylic markers just to go over, because obviously all the lines are in black normally. I did intend to do this kind of fast food bit on the other side, but yeah, no, didn't get there. But yeah, again, just a silly little stationery page. It's got silly faces on it. I was feeling lousy. They cheered me up. Yeah. You have to do what you have to do sometimes, don't you, to kind of get through the day. But again, I don't know if I'll work in this month, but there's quite a few silly little things in here that I do quite like, and I do like a silly colouring, as you might have noticed. Then, before I was ill, hurrah, let's go back out again. Okay, my camera just went mad, so I had to stop it. I've not got the brain to sort out technical problems as well. But yeah, no, you just see the whole room. Because it just zoomed out and wouldn't stop. Anyway, this one I did before I got the delightful COVID. Tanya Bogema, still over, cute girls. I think I've had this PDF for a while, but I hadn't printed any, and obviously I had a big printing session. So I did this one. In fact, let's get rid of the shiny thing, because that's not helping, is it? I did this one. This I've printed in my 110 Nina cardstock. It's not really, I wouldn't describe this as cardstock. If I was buying cardstock, it's a bit softer than cardstock. But yeah, it goes through my printer really nicely. It'll take a bit of watercolour. I mean, it's not watercolour paper, but it'll take it okay. So yeah, I quite like this stuff, and it, like I say, it goes through my laser okay. This is in, do you know, it feels like so long since I've done this. I'm struggling to remember it, even doing it. But yeah, the face is Luminance, as usual, because that is my favourite skin colour. Pretty much, the background is all in Neo 2s, Caran d'Ache Neo 2s. And some Neo 2s in odd little bits, but yeah, it's either Luminance or Caran d'Ache Neos. Obviously they're the same manufacturer, so you have very similar colours in both, so you can kind of mix and match with them and still find a decent colour. And sometimes I do find myself working with the Neo 2s, wetting it, and then maybe if there's bits I not like, I will work back over with the Luminance, just because the colour palette is so close that you can and get away with that quite nicely. There is some of my watercolour paints, as you can probably see. There's quite a bit of watercolour here and there. A good chunk of the metallic is the Renaissance watercolour paints. Off the top of my head, and I've not written it down stupidly, I can't tell you which sets they were from. But I've also used in this little section here that, as you can see, is very, very kind of glittery. These are two of the glittery ones from the Art Spirits. So I think it's Glitter Gold and Glitter Bronze that's in those spaces, because they are really, yeah, very glittery, as you can see. It does kind of layer, because it does have bits and pieces of glitter and things in it. It does kind of, I think you can see it, it doesn't layer flat in the same way that the I think this bit is the Renaissance and these two are the Art Spirits. So it depends on the look you want it, and I wanted it quite chunky, and obviously it gives it like super reflective qualities, so I quite like both of them together. There's the odd little bit, I think in this little bit that wanders round, that's my Signo Sparkling Gold. And I have used my Light Wish golden markers as well in some of these circles round the back, in the background, and on the butterflies and bits and pieces like that as well. But yeah, I quite enjoyed doing this before month of illness. I was going well. I think I'd done this in 2 days, and then yeah, after that I was just ill. I couldn't do anything. So yeah, quite enjoyed that, and yeah, not a set that I've used before, so that was quite good. Then what did I do? This one I've only just finished, but North Pole Elves. I was hoping to get a couple done out of this, but yeah, didn't. Christmas colouring book by Morgan O'Brien. And I did this one. So yeah, quite enjoyed it. I did the base of this in my Ohuhu markers, those sets that they sent me. Was it last month? Lost track. Maybe the month before. They're back on my videos anyway if you want to see what's in them. But yeah, I quite like doing those, and you can kind of see what I've done in the markers just by flipping it. So most of the inside of here I've done a base of the markers. Then I've used my Gwennar acrylic markers just for some of the outlines on some of them, because obviously his lines are pretty dark, and like where I've got fur trim on his coat and on his teeth, I didn't really want it like super black on those sections. It is a bit glittery for me, this page, but yeah, I don't use stickers very often in my books because I find them quite annoying when you're working on the page in front, but it's a Christmas book, so you kind of have to, don't you? So yeah, I have used my Ranger Crystal stickles. I think there's one of the crystally ones. Have I got it out? Yeah, I've still got it out. This, oh, it is in fact crystal, that one. And I have a blue one as well. So I've just used a little bit of the blue in the sea as well. Lightwish acrylic markers. Oh, I did the background. I did a layer of the Lightwish acrylic markers first, the bigger set. I think it's got 60 colours in, so maybe 30 pens. So I've done one layer of that first as a kind of undercoat, and then I've done a layer of, again, I didn't put it away because I knew I'd forget what it was called. So Deco Art, Dazzling Metallics, Shimmering Silver. So it just has one layer of that on top of the Lightwish that I've used as an undercoat, and I quite like how that works because sometimes this can go a bit textured, which I don't like. So yeah, the Lightwish really does sit flat on the page, and it just obviously seals this very porous Amazon paper. So I quite like the finish of that once those two have worked together, and I think that was it. I don't think there was anything else. Obviously it's only a fairly quick one, as is most of my things this month. But yeah, second one in this book. I think I did that one last year. Oh look, I've got silver on that page somehow. How on earth did I manage that when it was pages away? Don't, never mind. North Pole Elves by Morgan O'Brien. Then I did do a little bit in Fantasy Jaars by Miranda Klein. I like the drawings in this book. They are definitely my cup of tea. They're all kind of nice, whimsical, comforting looking drawings. And I did this one with this lovely little mouse. This I think was I did after I'd worked in that book. So I still had my Poscas out on my desk. So all the mushroom houses, the stems, the roofs and the chimney on the little side, I think they were all in Posca, but obviously that has limited greens in it, and as you can kind of see, I'd layered some of the greens over the top of the stems in the mushrooms, so I was trying to find some different greens. So I did fish out of my spur pot some green prismas just to work on some of the trees in the background, and I did pinch my prismas for the sky because again there isn't a light, a super light pencil, light blue, can't talk, sorry, brain, there isn't a super light blue in the Posca set because obviously 36 pencils, so I wanted some whiter ones. But then I think I did go back to the Posca to do the jar work. I'm not super confident with doing glass and reflections and all that. I quite enjoy doing the things inside it, and then I think, oh, I've got to try and make it look like it's actually in a jar. I'm not sure I've fully completed that. And then the background, not exactly interesting, but it is just my Arteza craft paint. Again, have I still got one on the shelf? Yeah, like these ones, I think they came in a pack, but Arteza craft acrylic colours. I quite like them because, as you can see, they dry very, very matte, and I don't like shiny acrylics in a colouring book. So yeah, they suit my needs perfectly. Yeah, I quite enjoyed working on that though. It was a cute little page, didn't take too long, and obviously I just didn't want it to do anything too long-winded because I'm just still feeling ropey. But yeah, this is some cute pages, and you do get a little code at the back so you can download this whole book. So if you want to print it on better paper and not have it on the Amazon thing. When I picked this book last month, I was thinking I would print these, but with being ill, I just didn't want any faffing, so I've just gone straight on the paper. I don't love the paper, and I hate black backgrounds. I don't see the point of it. I think it's when you're using markers, isn't it, that they do it for, but I just find it annoying, and it gets on your hands, and yeah, I don't like it personally. So I think what I'm going to do going forward is when I decide to work in here, I'm just going to print that page off to keep in the book, but maybe not work on the Amazon paper, because, yeah, you get a bit spoilt, don't you, when you've been working on other things. Speaking of Amazon paper, obviously this is a little bit better. This is my hardback copy of R.J. Hampson's Lost and Found. I've not worked in this one before, so I thought I'd have a go at using some water media on this paper. Is it brilliant? No, not really. It's not great paper, but it will take the watercolour, and it's still perfectly workable. As you can hear, it is quite crinkly now, and probably you can just about see how much page texture I've got now, but it was workable, and I think when it's been sat in the bookcase and it's got a bit more squashed, I think it'll flatten down fine, and it was completely fine to work on. So I've done most of this page with Cavendish Museum aquarelles. I've not used them for ages, but yeah, I just fancied having a go. I thought I'm curious to see how it works on this paper. Obviously it's not the best paper, it's better than the normal Amazon stuff, but it could have been a lot thicker. Definitely it's taken the museum aquarelles okay, and I think, like I say, it will flatten off okay. I think I did use, I've got about 20 Cavendish Supercolour Softs. I think I did use a couple of those as well. I think there's a nice really pale blue in there that I think I did use in this background as well. So I've used those. This has got, as you might be able to see, some of those Lightwish golden markers on this kind of trim that goes round the edge, and in a couple of these kind of lozenge shapes on the side. They work nicely on here. And then again some acrylic paints, pens, just to take out, like I think around Mr. Fogarty there, I've taken out a little bit of his line work, just where it's a bit shouty. But yeah, I enjoyed working on this. I kind of feel I should have done another coat of something around the edge, but yeah, I just didn't get time to get back to it, or the brain power to think how I was going to blend those together. But yeah, I think that was just one of the museum pencils that I'd brushed out with a wet brush, and I was thinking I'd do a darker one around the edge, but yeah, didn't get to that, didn't get there. But yeah, I quite like it. I enjoyed working on it, and at least it wasn't a massively busy page, which I just couldn't have handled this month. So yeah, at least I got one done in R.J. Hampson's Lost and Found book. And then my last one this month was another Uncolored book to me. I got these a few months ago. I only had one of these. I think I was gifted the mermaid one for Christmas one of the years, and I've worked in that one. Beautiful paper. So yeah, I bought these ones just because I thought the paper was so lovely, and I don't think they're books I'll work in every month, but I think they are lovely books. So I thought I'd do one in this one just to start it off. So yeah, I did this one, and this is probably the page that's taken me the longest this month. I've struggled to find the patience to finish this particular piece off. I like it, I liked working on it, but concentration, I'm just seriously out of concentration at the moment. Yeah, the appeal to go to bed and sleep is too great. But yeah, I did enjoy doing this one. Again, all the figure is in luminance, so her face and all the skin is mainly in luminance. And then I think I did use a little bit of Derwent drawing over the top. Her hair was, oh, I think it must have been Luminance background. Yeah, I think I must have done her hair in Luminance as well, which is unusual for me. Normally I swap to do it light fast for her hair, but I think I just carried on with my Luminance in her hair. I did swap to Holbeins and light fast for some of the greenery in the background, because obviously there's a lot of different types of green in this background, and I wanted them to kind of look a little bit different. So I think the grass at the front is some of my Holbeins, and then the greens in the back is a mixture of Luminance and my light fast, just to kind of give me some different palettes of green, to kind of have those areas looking a little bit different. There's some acrylic paint pens as usual, on a little bit of the line work, though I don't take very much out. I think it's just a little bit in her hair here and there at the front, where there was quite a lot of black lines that I didn't want in her hair, but I think that's the only place I've taken any out on this. In the main, I've left them. And then on her wings, as I'm sure you can see, is again one of those Renaissance paints. I think it was one of the Advent ones, you know, that look like they're just white, but you put them on and they're quite clear, but they have a sheen of a particular colour. So it looks to me like this one's the kind of green gold one that I've put on, because I was thinking it would go with her dress that she's wearing, and kind of go with her hair as well. So in one that I have coloured it first, so you can just about see my colouring underneath the paint, can't you, from that angle? But then depending on the angle, you get either all paint or some colour, which I quite like for wings. I think that kind of feels appropriate. Yeah, and that was that. So this is my first page out of this lovely book by Jasmine Beckett Griffiths, a fantasy art adventure. Yeah, I enjoyed it. The paper is so beautiful in these books, isn't it? It just really does feel like you're working on lovely paper. And yeah, that was all I've got done this month. If I'm really honest, I'm surprised I even got this done. I'm hoping December's going to be a much better month for colouring, but you know, December is so busy, isn't it? And I find colouring in December difficult most of the time, so hopefully I'll get some done, but who knows at this point, will I ever feel well again? I'm really hoping so. So apologies for this croaky video, moany video, might even be that, sorry. But yeah, that's all my colouring for November. I hope you've enjoyed some of it. Thank you very much, very much for watching, and thank you for your nice wishes on various different videos and in my community tab. Much appreciated. Hopefully I'll be back to normal soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.